Hello and welcome to the iRacing Fantasy National Series here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're here for 50 laps tonight, 125 miles for these drivers in these brand new B cars here on iRacing.com. My name is Adam Baker and this is VSPEED. Tonight's race brought to you by Rapid Fired Pizza, Alpha Ornamental Metals, and Shorba's iRacing Paints. And we are back after a couple weeks off here on VSPEED, so we appreciate you tuning in. And we're going to try and catch up with a little bit of the action that happened last week. And we've actually got a clip, like a radioactive style clip, that one of the drivers here in the league actually made. So we're going to play that right now so you can get caught up at what happened at Darlington last week.
Holy shit, Chris, you about made me kill myself there. Oh my.
Hey man, I'm not gonna live for you like that more than once.
That was pretty scary.
Probably couldn't change your reaction.
Run like a rebel, run like a rebel, run like a rebel, run like a rebel.
Oh no, Justin, no!
What is that?
Run like a rebel.
Doing something wrong, or are y'all just coming off the wall up there and coming down to the knee? Hey, Nick, I'm not gonna force the issue. I mean, I got a big gap behind me.
I won't be constricted to stay between the lines. I'm not a number.
Need to learn how to pass to the outside. That's twice now. I think it's fun. Rookie guys passing on the outside.
What are y'all doing?
Look, 12.
I don't know if I made you go into the turn too deep 8, but I'm sorry.
What on earth was that?
I'm not a number, I can't be defined. Yeah, I feel the hunger, I think that it's time. I'm not a number, I can't be defined. Yeah, I feel the hunger, I think that it's time. Run like a rebel, run like a rebel.
Rick, I don't know how much more room I'm supposed to give you on that one. Clear ponds in the back. I got put in the wall by some guy who thinks he could drive up front. Win, Jacob. Deserved it.
Guys so much. Means so much. You guys are awesome to race with.
And back to the track here after all that carnage last week at Darlington. Hopefully tonight goes very smoothly and these brand new race cars can stay nice and clean. Let's take a look at our weather here today. 72-degree air temperature and 93-degree track temperature, so probably going to be a little bit slick out there at the Brickyard. This track, 2.5 miles long. It's got 4 unique corners, all fairly low banked, and a very precise track, so drivers are going to have to enter the turns as well as they can so they can get the best run down these long straightaways. And you can see the 04 of Josh Mayu currently out there putting down his qualifying lap, and he is 8th on the boards right now. It is Jay Queen at the top of the boards with a 49.192, so great lap by Jay to put him up there. And looking like he might be able to grab the pole here tonight. We do have a few drivers out on track. We've got David Wright, actually looks like he is finishing up his laps. Jim Walton was on track. Chad Ginnigsman able to get a second place run, just 3 thousandths off of the pole time. He's going to drop into second. Let's see, Evan Longacre, one of our top 5 in points coming into tonight's race, out on track right now, and he is putting down his hot lap at the moment. So let's keep an eye on Evan and see what he can do here in his qualifying run. And Evan repping that Rapid Fired Pizza number 48 machine, sponsor of this series, and he has had a good season so far. Currently sitting 4th in the playoff standings, and I believe 3rd in points, regular season points overall, so definitely been a good season. He puts down a really great lap there, goes into 3rd place on the board, so great job. Nathan Zittel now out on track, putting down his hot lap in that number 86 machine, and he's only got 20 seconds left to make it back to the line, and not sure if he's going to be able to do it or not, but we will have to find out as he makes his way down the back straightaway here at Indianapolis. Going to go into turn 3, really dives it in there, kind of missed the groove. It's going to cost him time on his lap, but he gets it going out of turn 3 into turn 4, running out of time. Did not make it to the line, so Zittel in that 86 not going to be able to take a position on the grid that he might have liked. And let's go to our starting grid here tonight for Indianapolis. Jay Queen on the pole here at Indy for the iRacing Fantasy National Series. So congratulations to Jay on that fantastic lap. 49.192 puts him on the pole position. Second place on the grid is going to be Chad Ginnigsman with a 49.195. So close, but not enough to take that pole, but he's going to start on the front row here tonight. Evan Longacre going to be rolling off in 3rd, and Roger Gregory rolling off on the outside in 4th. Tater Bowman, winner a few weeks ago, going to roll off in 5th, and Carl Dodson going to start here in 6th. Dylan Canova starting in 7th, and Zach York rolling off in 8th position. David Wright going to be rolling off in 9th in that 000, and Josh Mayo rolling off in the 04, rounding out the top 10 here on the grid. Chris James starting in 11th. Grayson Sullivan going to be rolling off in 12th. Jim Walton 13th. Matthew Johnson 14th. Dalton Williamson going to be starting 15th here. Rick Webb 16th. Greg Klein 17th. Barry Stevens 18th. Aaron Tyner 19th. Nicholas Starling 20th. Tyler White 21st. Cole Early 22nd. Jonathan Hernandez, winner just a few weeks ago at Bristol. Actually, I believe the last race we broadcast here on VSPEED. He's going to be rolling off 23rd, did not take a time in qualifying. Charles Hager starting in 24th. Brandon Andrews going to be rolling off in 25th. Cole Hooper rolling off in 26th. Cody Jordan 27th. Tracy Powers 28th. Nathan Zittel, we saw him coming around out of turn 4, didn't make it to the line, going to roll off 29th. Samuel Williams 30th. Roy Atchison 31st. Robert Carroll 32nd. And that is going to round out our field here tonight. So thank you, Big Games 08, for the follow here on Twitch. We really appreciate it. And if you guys are enjoying the broadcast, please consider following like Big Games just did, or possibly subscribing. Right now, subscriptions are half price for the month, so only $2.50, and you can support your favorite broadcasting channel here on Twitch. And we have had a few subscribers so far, and we are so appreciative of each and every one of you. And look forward to bringing you more and more great racing content throughout the rest of the year. And if you subscribe, you also get some awesome emotes. The first one is a V that you can just throw in the chat when you want. We've also got an oof and put it out, which is a familiar phrase for any NASCAR fans out there. And should be a good race here tonight. Really looking forward to this one. Definitely a tough track, but I think these drivers have had a pretty good handle on it here. so far in the practice and qualifying. And gonna have some long caution laps if we do end up getting cautions in tonight's race, but only 50 laps. And shout out your favorite driver in the field here tonight, and we will try and keep up with them throughout the race. Jake Queen right now going to be rolling off and getting these guys going. This pace car makes its way into turn number 4, that number 6 machine with his teammate in the 16 who's outside. They are on the front row, all Roush front row, so obviously got a good setup in those cars. This pace car making his way out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway, going to take it down pit road here, and it's going to be up to the leaders. Waiting for that green flag. It's Jake Queen on the front row. Gets him going. Green flag is out here at Indianapolis, and we are underway. A little stack up a little farther back. Can't see who that was, but there's front end damage on a couple cars now. Maybe the 35 of Cody Jordan stacking them up there. Not totally sure, but up in front, Jake Queen able to take him down into turn 1. He gets out in front. Evan Longacre now underneath Chad Ginnigsman. And that's the battle for second place. They single file out behind them. Tater Bowman up into 4th. And the 48 trying to make the move. Can't get it done on the first set of turns here. He's still down low trying to break the draft to the cars behind him, but has to settle in for 3rd position right now. We're 3 wide, a little farther back. Still 3 wide, maybe contact. No, they keep it straight. Carl Dodson just out in front of that. Chris James here in the middle of it. And James comes in as your, looks like number 2 seed in the playoffs, but has the most points in the regular season. So he's had a great season in that number 1 machine so far, as most of these drivers now single filed out. And we'll look a little ways back here. The 19 up high, that DuPont machine to the outside. He's trying to get back down in line. This is Grayson Sullivan. He does get in line, so mostly single file inside the top 15, and then still a little bit of a stack up back here with Cody Jordan in the middle. And they are 3 wide going down into turn number 3. 35 dives it in there, 12 backs out of it. That's Greg Klein, and that Pennzoil machine backs out of it nicely, and those drivers keep it going. Jay Queen out in front now by 0.3 of a second as they're completing lap number 2. But Chad Ginnigsman, his teammate there in the 16, not letting him get away too quickly. Evan Longacre also has those 2 in his sights, but he is under pressure from Tater Bowman, who's just about a car length back. And we see comments in chat. Evan Longacre, a favorite to win here tonight from TJ Spinout. We'll see what he can do here. He is losing ground to those front 2, who obviously have some pretty good cars tonight, taking the front row in qualifying, but question is, can they hold up on the long run? As that is usually the question here. And looks like we've got a battle brewing here for just outside the top 5. This is Roger Gregory in the 38. Carl Dodson down to the inside. Dodson comes in, your number 1 seed for the playoffs. With just a handful of races remaining. He is 2nd in points for the regular season, but has more wins and more playoff points, so setting himself up nicely here. Good run so far, up near the top 5. And most of these drivers now single filed out. It can be so hard to make passes here unless the drivers around you make mistakes. So they dive down into turn 3 here. 2 wide, a little ways behind them. Josh Mayu in that 04 down low, and the 0 of David Wright drops in behind him. And then behind them, we've got a 3-way battle here. This is the 2 of Dalton Williamson right behind the 47 of Matthew Johnson, trying to pick a lane to go with the 68 up high. Here comes the 19 down low. Grayson Sullivan gets into him, going into turn 1, the 2, sideways, and up the track. He backs it into the wall. And Jonathan Hernandez, nope, sorry, Dalton Williamson, a victim there, going down into turn number 1. That brings out our first caution of the night on lap number 5. Let's go take a look at the replay. Kind of saw it on our camera. And they were heading down the front straightaway here. The 2 was trying to pick a lane, didn't really make a decision until maybe a little bit too late as the 19 had his nose in there. The 19 overdrove the corner just a little bit and comes up into the 2. Let's actually take a look at the 19 of Grayson Sullivan from his chase cam. As they go down the front straightaway here, making their way towards the start-finish line now. The 19 makes that decision definitely late and just taps the left rear of the 2, sending him around. So Williamson losing the back end of his car, and that is going to cost him quite a bit of speed at this long racetrack. But right now, Jay Queen out in front. He has led every lap so far, and not sure if any drivers really made it down pit road. Looks like Samuel Williams in that 4. He's got damage on the left front of that vehicle. Not sure what happened to him, but he is on pit road trying to get that fixed. I don't see anyone else on pit road that is a lead lap car. Jay Queen leading the way out here, and we are going to cut quickly to a commercial break and be right back with more racing action. Under caution, we've had a little shakeup at the front of the field. Roy Atchison is currently your leader, deciding to stay out. He's going to have either 8 or 9 laps on those tires when they get back going again. But based on his lap times, I just took a look back at them. He was not running a very competitive laps, so maybe just trying to save tires in the instance that an early caution would come out and he could gain all the track position. Seeing as he started all the way back in 31st, we'll have to see how this works out for him, but he is currently leading the way. Jay Queen won the battle off of pit road. Tater Bowman actually leapfrogging Chad Ginnigsman, and Evan Longacre moving up into 3rd position, 2nd off of pit road. So good pit stop there, 14.2, which I believe was the fastest on pit road. A couple 14.1s, but much farther back in the pack. So fast driver starting to make his way a little bit closer to the front. And we'll see what kind of a position he's in here with the leader going to be on old tires. And they are making their way down the back straightaway. Probably going to get the 1 to green this next time by. But we're going to take this moment to give another shout out. That is Shorba's iRacing Paints. You can head over to Shorba's iRacing Paints on Facebook. Get yourself a beautiful paint scheme. Many of the drivers in the field here tonight use paints made by Jacob, and you can get a beautiful scheme for your own race car for a very affordable price. Just head on over to Shorba's iRacing Paints and send Jacob a message, and he will get you hooked up. Also want to give a mention about some new merch in the VSPEED shop. If you love the iRacing Fantasy National Series and you want to support their league, you can actually buy a hat or t-shirt over on vspeedsim.com/shop. $5 of every sale goes straight back to the league, and the first 25 to use the code FANTASY5 save $5 on your purchase. We also have some awesome VSPEED gear in the shop, including stickers and magnets, shirts and hats. So head on over there, check that stuff out. That is vspeedsim.com/shop. And back to the actions. The leader's now going double file. Pace car lights are off, so we'll be getting the green flag this time. Looks like the 51 of Roy Atchison electing to take the inside line, which could make things interesting here for the drivers behind him. So we'll have to see how that works out at the front of the field, but 51 maybe has a strategy pulled, or trying to pull a strategy here, I should say. 9 laps on the tires, going to be 10 laps on the tires when they take the green flag. So going to be at a disadvantage speed-wise, but like I said, he was running about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds off the pace of our leaders before that caution. So maybe he has a little bit more tire left than some of the other guys did, not pushing that car to its full potential for those first few laps. And they're rolling through turn number 4 right now. And next caution break, we will try and get an interview in with one of these drivers, maybe one we haven't talked to yet this season, but not able to do that this time around. Jay Queen up on the outside lane, trying to get that lead back. We'll see what he can do as the field making their way into the restart zone. Waiting for that green flag to fly. Atchison holding them down. Green flag is back in the air. 51 spins the tires a little bit. Able to get through the gears pretty well, and he is going to lead this lap under green. We'll see if he can get a good entry into turn 1, or if they stack up behind him. He gets down really low onto the apron, onto the grass. We've got stack up behind him. The 7 goes around. And that is Carl Dodson going around. He keeps it off the inside wall, but damage on that race car, and he is now way back. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened here. So he went down into turn 1. Obviously, the 51 down on speed compared to the rest of the drivers, but they all stacked up right behind him. The 7 got the worst of it. He got punted from behind, able to keep it out of the way of everyone else, but definitely not what he wanted. Jay Queen now takes over the lead. Chad Ginnigsman, his teammate, there in second. Tater Bowman in third. Dylan Canova in fourth. Evan Longacre in fifth. He's a little ways back from those top 4, but trying to make up ground. The 38 of Roger Gregory coming up behind him. And then we got Josh Mayu heavily under pressure from Grayson Sullivan, as well as Zach York. And leading that short train of race cars, we've got a few more back here. It looks like the 12 battling with the Jonathan Hernandez there in the number 9 Jegs machine, who has some damage on his race car. Maybe got caught up in that little stack up there down in turn number 1. But he makes the pass on Klein, and that's going to put him up into the 13th position. It looks like up a bit farther. Grayson Sullivan down low trying to make a move on Josh Mayo. They're coming down into turn number 1. We've seen that 19 already make it a little bit interesting going down into 1. Gets a good run through the corner here. He's going to take that position, no problem at all. Josh Mayo dropping back now. He is side by side with Zach York, and really at a disadvantage in that high line. York going to take that position. Mayu going to try and get a run from the high line down, but not able to do it. And the top 15 or so, once again, single filed back out. The battle now, Barry Stevens peeking down to the inside of the number, I'm sorry, that's the number 2. That is not, actually, I believe Jonathan Hernandez and Dalton Williamson running the same paint schemes here in the 9 and the 2. So try and keep those two straight here tonight. The 59 of Rick Webb now under fire from Jonathan Hernandez, and Hernandez going to drive down to that inside line and probably going to take the position here going into turn 1. 59 gives him plenty of room, but it is so hard to make that high line work here. He's doing a good job, but definitely surrendering the position as the top 4 have continued to break away. Dylan Canova trailing Tater Bowman right now. This is 3rd and 4th, the 39 machine of Canova. Let's see where he started here tonight. Started in 7th. He's made his way up inside the top 5 and some good speed in that 39. He is not letting those leaders get away. Grayson Sullivan now out in front of Zach York. Those two going to try and maybe use the draft here and push themselves up closer to the leaders. But York all over the back bumper. We'll see if he makes any kind of move going down into turn 1 here. Down the front straightaway, he peeks out, using that draft to his advantage. It looks like the 19 going to let him have it, possibly. Doesn't back out of it completely, but the 91 going to slide up in front of him and take that position. That puts York up into 7th, Sullivan back into 8th. Josh Mayu back here now under fire. Jonathan Hernandez moving quickly through the field up inside the top 10 in that number 9 Jegs machine. As we've got some cloud cover coming over the racetrack right now, and probably going to give these drivers a bit more grip. 6 of Queen rolling out front now, doing a great job. He has led 10 laps out of the 14, the other laps being led by the 51 of Roy Atchison under caution. And we have another caution. And it looks like the 59 of Webb. Rick Webb ending up in the inside wall and bringing out a caution there. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. Looks like it was going down through turns 3 and 4. I believe the 86 of Nathan Zittel getting a little bit too high there. He bounces off the wall, spins the 98, the 59, and they all slam that inside wall. So Tracy Powers in that 98 also caught up in this. Kind of nowhere to go for that driver in the Mobil 1 machine. So they made contact coming out of turn 3. 86 bouncing down, 98 as low as he really could go coming out of the corner, and just paid the ultimate price there for those two and their mistake. So 98 of Tracy Power is going to be at a disadvantage here. No front end or no rear bumper on that machine. Nathan Zittel, heavy front end damage. I believe he's got some rear end damage as well from hitting that inside wall. Yep, no rear bumper. And Rick Webb actually might have gotten off a little bit better than the rest of them, being the first one to take the impact. And looks like we've got a little bit of a change up front. Tater Bowman trying to get a lap led here, but Jay Queen's going to lead the majority of the field down pit road as they've been out on these tires for 8 laps now. And they are making their way down pit road. See who can win that battle off as they slide down into their pit stalls. Jay Queen a little bit far to the right, but looks like he's in the box. Yep, they jack up the car. And right now Tater Bowman, the only driver to stay out. Looks like Carl Dodson may be done with his stop. No, it does not look like it. Jay Queen going to win the battle off, along with his teammate Chad Ginnigsman. Dylan Canova, Zach York, Evan Longacre going to come out of pit road. Looks like the top 5 out of pit road. So Queen going to get some track position back. And let's see if we can find somebody here to talk to. Possibly Roy Atchison in that number 51 machine. Stayed out under caution last time. and led a few laps there. Let's see if we can find him in the radio channel. Give me 1 second, folks. Got to find him. Oh, he is in the driver's lounge.
Going down in the corner, and I didn't pit. And I was going to pit the second time around, but it was already closed.
Hey, Roy, I actually just pulled you up into the booth to maybe ask you a few questions about that decision, but I heard you talking about it right there. But anyways, welcome to the VSPEED booth. We saw you stay out a couple laps ago under that caution, and you were saying that you were going to try and make it down under the second caution lap there?
Yeah, I was going to, and then it was already too late, so I didn't want to end up, hitting the wall or causing anyone behind me to mess up.
Did you think you would be able to kind of stay up there with those guys, or is the tire fall off pretty extreme here tonight?
Well, I didn't think they were going to fall off that bad, but they did, and it was my mistake, and it was a costly decision.
Well, it looks like you didn't get any damage as far as I can tell up here from the booth, but a few of the drivers stacked up behind you, and it looked like Carl Dodson actually ended up spinning out there, but you were able to kind of get out of there unscathed, luckily. And you think you still got some speed left in that race car?
I don't know. Going to these new cars, I like them. It's just trying to learn a new car. It's always hard. So hopefully I got some at the end, and just try to keep my car clean.
Well, you're doing a good job with that so far, and you've led a few laps here. But we wish you good luck for the rest of the race. One final question before we let you go: what is your favorite rapid-fired pizza topping?
I like pepperoni.
All right, sir. Well, that seems to be a common favorite, so enjoy the rest of the race. Good luck to you. Hopefully we can talk to you later.
Thanks, man, and thank you for announcing, and thank you for pulling me in.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, so that was number 51, Roy Atchison, and we heard there was just a little bit of a miscue in the decision to stay out there under the last caution, and he lost a lot of track position, but did lead a few laps here. And let's go back up to the front. Still single file. Jay Queen currently your leader. So looks like Tater Bowman actually did bring it down pit road. And he's currently scored in 22nd position. So Atchison up here just a couple spots in front. Carl Dodson, who got spun out, he's currently scored in that 20th position. As we see another driver making his way down. That's the 60 of Aaron Tyner in that Roush Racing machine. And not having quite the success of his teammates who took the front row here, and still currently first and second, but we'll see what he can do to try and make up some spots here as this race goes on. And I'm going to see if we got any word on when the stages are here tonight. But they are double file back up at the front. Chad Ginningsman on the outside, Jay Queen, the leader, on the inside, and Queen has done an excellent job here so far. Nobody's really been able to stay with him except his teammate, and he has not attempted to make a pass just yet, so we'll have to see. And we are trying to get a word from race control on the stages here tonight. If they are running stages, I'm not totally sure if they are or not, but field making their way through turns 3 and 4. And we're going to bring our ticker back up so you can follow along with your favorite driver. Jake Queen, Chad Ginningsman out on the front row, Dylan Canova and Zach York in row number 2, Evan Longacre in that number 48 machine, one of the fan favorites here tonight, in 5th position. Grayson Sullivan in 6th. So about to get the green flag. Pace car makes his way down onto pit road. Jake Queen gonna be the control car here on the inside line. Back underway. Green flag is out. Lap number 18 coming to 19 here out of 50 in this race. And Jay Queen, a great restart, shot out like a missile there. Chad Ginningsman on the outside, able to hold on to his position. Looks like maybe a little bit of a stack up. Zach York, not great restart. Oh, we saw an issue there. Dylan Canova in that 39 having either connection issues. He pulled down to the inside and I think he actually disappeared. So, oh, we've got cars going around. That's the 01 Robert Carroll and Carl Dodson coming out of turn 2. Those cars just sitting there on the back straightaway. Maybe some words being had in the chat, but can't quite tell. We'll find out in Radioactive next week, I guess. But that brings out another caution tonight. So let's find out what happened here. And following along with Carl Dodson up on the outside line, the 01 just slipping up. It looks like the 7 kind of came down on corner exit, maybe didn't track out to the wall as far as the 01 was thinking. Robert Carroll, though, heavily involved in this. And let's get another view here. Maybe our far chase, the 01 down low. You can see the 7 kind of cutting down mid-corner and maybe checking up for the, looks like the 1 of Chris James was in front of him. And the 2 just come together. Heavy contact for both of those drivers, Dodson and Carroll. And Carl Dodson continues on his way. It looks like Robert Carroll actually towed it to pit road. No front end left on that race car, so that is going to be the end of his race here tonight. Jay Queen continues to lead as we are back under caution. 3 cautions so far with 4 lead changes at the front of the field. So we've had some green flag racing action, not too much, as we've had a couple of these cautions in rapid succession, but let's see if we can get a word in with somebody else here. Maybe talk with Jonathan Hernandez. Didn't see exactly how he lost track position, but looks like he's making his way down pit road. Looks like Atchison going to lead the way from 17th position. He is going to commit to pit road. About 5 or 6 other drivers behind him going to follow him down. So we're going to try and get a word in with Jonathan Hernandez after he finishes his pit stop. And you can see the stage results there in the chat. It looks like it was Jay Queen winning the stage, the 16 of Chad Ginningsman in second. In third, it was Tater Bowman. In fourth, the 39 of Dylan Canova. Fifth was Evan Longacre. Sixth, the 38 of Roger Gregory. Seventh was the 91 of Zach York. Eighth was the 19 of Grayson Sullivan in that DuPont machine. Ninth was the number 9 of Jonathan Hernandez, who we're going to speak with shortly. In the 10th position was the 04 of Josh Mayu. Those guys all getting stage points. Very critical at this point in the season to get as many points as possible. Let's see if we can pull up this Hendrick Motorsports driver, Jonathan Hernandez. Jonathan Hernandez, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do, Adam.
Well, Jonathan, we saw you kind of make your way up inside the top 10 there. Looks like the car's got pretty good speed, but you're now mired a little ways back in the pack. So what's kind of the goal here for stage number 2?
Stage 2, I'm going to try to survive. I was going to stay up there towards the front, but I had a pedal issue, so I went to go get that fixed. So I'm going to try to work my way back to the front. If I can't by lap 25, I'm just going to hang it easy and try to stay back here and survive till the end of the race.
Yeah, it looks like you are in pretty good position, I think. Actually, not in the playoffs for this series, but we saw you win at Bristol a few weeks ago, and you know, you've definitely had some strong race cars here in the last few weeks. But how are the Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets tonight?
They're all really good. We have good speed. Unfortunately, Carl just got caught up in that incident, so that's down for us. And I know Chris got involved in the incident earlier, so I know Tater is still has a strong car, capable of winning. So hopefully he'll be one of us. I want him to get the win, especially since he's in full time this series and competing for points.
That's good to hear. I mean, it definitely looks like your car has speed. Even with the damage, you were driving your way back up inside the top 10 from, I think you were outside the top 15 there for a little while. So definitely doing a good job here. And, you know, hopefully you can keep the car clean for the rest of the race and we can see you at the end. But one last question before we let you go. I think you've already answered this one time before, but what is your favorite rapid-fire pizza topping?
You're gonna ask me the question again. I thought about it in case I was gonna get asked again.
Your second favorite?
I'm gonna go with 2. Second favorite would be Canadian bacon.
That's definitely a good one. That's one of my favorites. So a good choice for sure. Good luck here in the rest of this race, and hopefully we talk to you later.
All right, Adam. Thank you.
All right, so that was the number 9 of Jonathan Hernandez. Going to try and move him back down with his teammates there. It's actually Junior Motorsports, not Hendrick Motorsports. I'm thinking of the Cup Series. But the Junior Motorsports race cars right now, we've got the 8 of Tater Bowman. Let's see where he is currently scored. 18th. He has led 1 lap here tonight under caution, so he's shown speed, been up inside the top 5, and his teammate there in the number 9, Jonathan Hernandez, coming back down pit road to get some more damage fixed, it looks like. But he has speed in that race car as well. A couple Junior Motorsports cars have been caught up in things. You can see Chris James here in the outside line. Heavy damage on the nose and rear of that race car. And Carl Dodson obviously caught up in that last wreck. No hood left on that race car, so he's just going to try and run this one out as we are almost at halfway. And Jay Queen going to be the one to get him going once again. He's led 18 laps here tonight out of the 23 or 22 and a half that have been run. And if you have enjoyed the broadcast here tonight, please comment in the chat. Consider following or subscribing. Subscriptions are half price this month, just $2.50 for supporting VSPEED this month. So great deal, and you can get a set of emotes. It's actually just the first level is $2.50 for the month, and you'll get the V emote. So you can comment that down in chat, but consider subscribing if you enjoy the broadcast, and it really helps us out, to bring you more great racing action each and every night. Jay Queen on the front row, his teammate Chad Ginningsman on the outside. We'll see what kind of restart these two get. Queen, the control car, once again has led so many laps, been so dominant so far. He gets them going. Green flag back in the air. We are underway once again at Indy, here in the iRacing Fantasy National Series, brought to you by Rapid Fired Pizza. Jay Queen leads him down into turn 1. Ginningsman able to clear Zach York in that number 91 machine. Evan Longacre back up into 4th position. The battle behind them, the 38 of Roger Gregory holding off Grayson Sullivan. Sullivan maybe missing the corner a little bit there, but able to keep it in that 6th position. Dalton Williamson also not a great run out. He's got heavy rear end damage on that race car. As we see the 14 of Cole Hooper down low, trying to make that move on Greg Klein, going down into the 3. The 12 really sails it in there, able to keep it off the wall, but here comes Chris James down low, and he's going to take that position. The 12 going to lose a couple spots under that exchange, but that's what he's going to fight back up high. Chris James with that damage, not able to get the run out of the corner, and they battle side by side, nose to nose at the line. It's going to be close. The 1 not able to have that track position just yet, but he is making the move down into turn 1, really dives it in there. Obviously still a very fast race car in that number 1 with all the nose damage. Here comes Aaron Tyner trying to catch up to his teammates at the front of the pack here. He's in that number 60. It looks like Tater Bowman starting to make his way forward now on fresh tires. down low underneath Greg Klein. He's going to make that pass, no problem. The 60 of Aaron Tyner up high. And he's going to drive right on by him as well. He moves up into 14th position. A little bit of contact up a little bit farther. And we see the 14 of Hooper out towards the wall. A little bit of contact a little farther up. Starling hitting the outside wall coming out of turn 4. And we've got shuffling all throughout the field here coming across the start-finish line. Tyner down low to the inside of Nicholas Starling. Not able to get that done. Here's Tater Bowman continuing to move up through the field. He makes the move down on Cody Jordan in that brand new Toyota Supra. They almost make contact out of turn 2, but they stay off of each other. But it's going to check out the momentum of the 8. He definitely looked like he might have been able to get to his teammate, and he still will be able to. Great speed in that number 8. Trimmed out very well here for these long straightaways, and he is able to capitalize on those fresh tires. He's back up inside the top 10. And up towards the front, Roger Gregory trying to chase down Evan Longacre, who is right on the back bumper of Zach York, about a second and a half back from our leaders. Chad Ginningsman still playing second fiddle here in this race. Jay Queen out in front, and he has dominated here tonight. Over halfway through the race, he has led 22 of the 27 laps and really looks to be the class of the field. Both of these Roush Mustangs absolutely putting on a clinic in this first half of the race. Zach York not giving up just yet. Evan Longacre all over his back bumper as they make their way down into turn 3. Longacre down low, not able to get the run out of 3, but he is there and he is looking right up to the back bumper, almost contact going through turn 4. And Roger Gregory waiting for something to happen between these two, and he is starting to close along with Grayson Sullivan just about a second back from them. He is going to start sniffing the draft from those race cars and pulling his way closer to the front. Dalton Williamson right now in 7th in front of Josh Mayo, and Tater Bowman clicks off another position into 9th place. And currently your fastest car on the track, running a 50.5, and the second fastest being your leader, Jay Queen, with a 50.6. So Bowman is 6.3 seconds back, but looking to gain a few positions here. Jonathan Hernandez, who we just talked to, making the move now down to the inside of Greg Klein. And this is going to be for 18th position. So Hernandez making up about 4 or 5 positions here as he gets into the wall. 51 in the wall. Hernandez goes around. And as soon as we start talking to him, it's commentator's curse. And got a few cars. The 86. Masterful move there to get around. That was Nathan Zittel barely squeezing by that accident, but that brings out another caution here tonight. And it looks like it started with Roy Atchison. Let's actually go back a little ways here. He goes down to the inside of the 93, bounces it off that outside wall, very similar to that earlier wreck. And the 9 hits the wall as well. He loses control. 51 right there. We get a car that phases through, but the 86 of Zittel, I have to go to his onboard camera. So he's coming up here. You can see the 9 starts moving, and he gets a little bit loose, able to keep control of that race car. Just barely threads the needle. So great job by Nathan Zittel to avoid any more contact there, and he's up inside the top 20 because of that. But Jonathan Hernandez is going to be in rough shape. He takes it down pit road, and a handful of other drivers going to be severely damaged after that one. And lap number 30 is going to be the end of stage 2. I'm assuming they're going to call it now. So top 10 as they stand, going to be your stage points earners: Jay Queen, Chad Ginningsman, Zach York, Evan Longacre, Roger Gregory, Grayson Sullivan, Dalton Williamson, Josh Mayu, Tater Bowman, Dylan Canova, all scoring stage points here in stage number 2. Congratulations to those drivers, and definitely need those points with the regular season closing up. And we see the number 7, Carl Dodson, getting back on the lead lap in that Chevy Camaro. No hood on that race car, but he's on the lead lap. And at this time, we want to give a big shout out to the sponsors of the series once again. That is Alpha Ornamental Metals, Rapid Fired Pizza, as well as Shorba's iRacing Paints. And we'll throw some of those commands down in the chat here so you guys can check out each of those sponsors. Alpha Ornamental Metals, they solve your ornamental metal needs, including steel, aluminum, and iron. They are also home to the Streamline Railing. So go head on over to Facebook and check out their page. Rapid Fired Pizza, consistent sponsor here, and makes me hungry every single time I see their ad, which is going to lead us into our next commercial break, and we will be right back. And we are back. These guys getting ready to go green once again. And you can see the stage results in the chat. Thank you so much, TJ Spinout. And once again, we want to encourage you to shout out your favorite racing driver in the chat, or favorite driver in the race here tonight, so we can follow along with them for the remainder of the event and see if they have a chance to win here tonight. Right now, Zach York up into second position. Really good pit stop there, and he takes over second from Chad Ginnigsman as they're making their way through turn number 4. It's going to be Jay Queen with the launch here. And he's got his teammate right behind him. Those two maybe going to work together here and see if they can get by the 91. Pace car once again taking the hard left onto pit road. And Jay Queen holding him down for the moment. Waiting. Green flag back in the air. Queen with a good launch. Ginnigsman all over him. He's going to go straight back into second, I think, as he dives down underneath. Zach York still there, though, and York able to hold him off for the moment. But that's 16 very fast here, and he's able to make it happen coming out of turn 3, and that relegates the 91 back to third. But here comes Grayson Sullivan now into the top 4. Going to try and take over that third position, coming down the back straightaway. Big run out of turn 3, or turn 2, down into turn 3, and he just clears the 91. Evan Longacre behind them. Down low, he's able to get out in front of Roger Gregory and take over 5th position and sole possession of that spot. Here comes Tater Bowman, though. Fast car here tonight, one of the fastest on the track, and he is back up into 6th place. We saw him lead a lap earlier under caution, and we'll see what he can do here in the final third of the race. And no more stages. We're headed straight towards the finish of this one. Tater Bowman making his charge once again. We've seen him run so well this season. Grayson Sullivan, though, in that number 19, doing an incredible job. And thank you for the follow there. Really appreciate it. Helps us bring you more and more great racing content here live on Twitch. And if you're just tuning in, this is the iRacing Fantasy National Series live on VSPEED from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 50 laps here tonight, 125 miles, and these drivers coming to lap 35 now is Jay Queen. He leads another one. That is 30 laps led for him here tonight, so great job by that driver. He's been so dominant, but his teammate has not let him get away, as Grayson Sullivan now under attack from Zach York, trying to take that spot back. Here comes Evan Longacre. They're all stacking up behind the 91. Longacre jumps to the outside, Tater Bowman with him as they draft off of that 19 down the back straightaway. The 91 going to try and squeeze in there. Not really enough room as Longacre is there, but they settle it out going down into turn 3. No issues at all. The 91 down low. Longacre, great run out of turn number 4. He's going to get to the outside. We'll see if he can get a draft off the 19. As the 8 of Tater Bowman down to the inside, 3 wide at the line. Tater Bowman not really with the position as they go in there 3 wide. Evan Longacre sails it out there. He's going to lose a lot of ground, really missing that corner. But able to keep it off of the outside wall, but that's going to drop him all the way back to a battle for 7th position. He was in the top 5. And Tater Bowman continuing his charge. He's in 5th, looking for more. As he settles in line here in front of Dylan Canova, who is also charged back up through the field. But the 8 right on the back bumper of Zach York. Maybe a little bit of contact there as he gets down to the inside, coming down into turn 4. And he is going to dive it in there, able to get a great run, and he takes that position. Zach York going to try and settle in behind him and not lose a spot to the 39. But the 39 trying to fake outside, no room there. He stays in line as they come down the front straightaway. Let's look outside the top 10. Barry Stevens back here in the 66 Netflix Supra, doing a solid job back here, leading Cole Hooper, Cody Jordan, David Wright, Aaron Tyner. Oh, we got a car flying through the air. Carl Dodson, he has been through the ringer here tonight. And I think this one has finally ended his night. Let's take a look. But I saw his car launch into the air. And looks like it was maybe just car got out from underneath him. Maybe a little too much of that apron. Catches the apron, the back end steps out, he overcorrects, launches into the air off the nose of the 86, and ends up on all 4 wheels, but don't think he's going to be able to drive away as he tows it to pit road, and that's going to end his night. Jay Queen continuing to lead. Chad Ginningsman, his teammate, in second. Tater Bowman has made his way all the way back up into third after starting in fifth. He was in the bottom half of the top 20, so doing a good job here. Roger Gregory, I think we're going to try and get a word in with him. He's been hanging around the top 10, and we'll see if he's got anything for these closing laps. But I think they may be making a pit stop. They've been out there for 8 laps on these tires. And looks like we've got a vote for Zach York in the chat. We'll keep an eye on Zach for the remainder of this race, but he has run an incredible race so far, up inside that top 5. And a little recap here, 5 cautions so far in 38 laps. We've had 4 lead changes at the front, but really been the Jay Queen and Chad Ginningsman show. Those Roush Ford Mustangs doing an incredible job, and really just dominating performance by those two. But Tater Bowman trying to show he's got speed in that race car. It's totally clean. He's been able to avoid the melee that's happened a little bit farther back in the pack. And it looks like we've got a driver staying out. Trying to see who that is. Rick Webb trying to get back on the lead lap, so he is 1 lap down, currently scored in 23rd. Heavy damage on that race car, though, from an earlier incident. As he gets the lucky dog here, going to get back on the lead lap in the closing laps here, so definitely good spot to be in. And we'll see if anybody tries any pit strategy here. Looking like 4 tires from pretty much everyone, although I think Aaron Tyner either missed his box completely. His pit stop time did not register, so I'm thinking he missed his box completely, but he's going to be up there with his Roush Racing teammates. And we will see what he is able to do. Roger Gregory coming out of pit road. There's a little stack up behind him, maybe some speeding from someone in the middle of the top 10 here. So we'll get a word in with Roger here in just a second. Let's see if we can find him in our radio channels. Looks like the 38, a little bit of a speeding penalty possibly. He's way down on the apron. No, he stays in line, so. Roger Gregory, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy? Roger, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy? And I'm not hearing you there, Roger, so I will put you back down with your teammates, but good luck with the rest of the race. So not able to hear him there. Not exactly sure what was going on with that one. Let's see if we can find somebody else up here towards the top 10 that has been running so well. Grayson Sullivan in that number 19. We'll see if we can pull him in.
Hey, get in the gas.
Grayson Sullivan, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Grayson, you've been running a great race so far. You started in the 12th position. You're inside the top 5 right now and look to have quite a bit of speed in that race car. You think you got anything for those leaders up front here in these closing laps?
I'm not sure if I've got anything for the top 3, but yeah, like you said, it's been a really good race for not just me, but also Zach York, my teammate right in front of me. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this is going so far.
Yeah, it seems like you two have really got the setup right in the race car here tonight, and seems like you're running well even on these short runs. And as the runs have gone on, you've been able to hold on to the position on the inside the top 10. But the race cars are handling good for you out there?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. It's got a little bit of tightness pretty much everywhere, but in that earlier stint when I was back in the back, I learned a lot about how the car handled in dirty air and how I could save the tires. So I think that's why I'm up here as it is.
And how important is it to, try and get clean air on the nose? Is it really helping the car turn, or are you struggling with the push when you're behind people?
At least for my setup, the push from being behind somebody isn't too significant. It's definitely not helping or anything, but I think this is one of the tracks where the setup works just well enough where as long as you're just a little bit careful, it works out pretty well.
Well, that's good to hear. We'll see if you can keep yourself up here in the top 5 and in contention for a win here tonight. Looks like you guys are going back double file. So one last question for you here before we let you go. What is your favorite rapid fire pizza topping?
Favorite pizza topping has got to be buffalo chicken.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Well, good luck to you here once again, and hopefully we get to talk to you at the end of this one.
Yeah, have a good night. Enjoy the race, and shout out to Jeff Gordon for this paint scheme.
Yep, beautiful race car. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, so that was Grayson Sullivan in that number 19. See if we can put him back in with his teammate, and we do. So good run going for those drivers there in the, it looks like Evernham Motorsports, number 19 and 91, both up inside the top 5 right now. We've got one junior motorsports car in the number 8 of Tater Bowman. Jay Queen and Chad Ginningsman are the Roush machines at the front, and they have led the way here. Queen with 36 out of the 41 laps run to his name, so really dominant. And we got a vote for Cody Jordan in the number 35. That's a great looking race car. The throwback TRD scheme in the Supra. So we'll see what he can do here just outside the top 10. So we're coming back to the green flag. Jay Queen, once again the control car, his teammate to the outside. A familiar sight here at Indianapolis tonight. And it's going to be less than 10 to go. At the line, green flag back in the air. Jay Queen gets him going. Great restart. Tater Bowman, we'll see if he gets a run down on the inside. Good restart for him, getting up through the gears. He's down to the inside of Ginningsman, and the 8, I think, is the only one who has anything for these top 2 Mustangs. And the Evernham Motorsports car is maybe just a step behind, but Bowman going to take over that second position for the moment. Here's the 16 right on his back bumper. We'll see what kind of a move he makes going down into turn number 3, but right now Jay Queen stepping away from these drivers. Tater Bowman out in second position, and that car has some speed in it. We'll see if he can chase down Queen up in the front. And he is holding the banner right now for Junior Motorsports, but here comes Ginningsman back to the inside down the front straightaway out of turn 4. And side by side across the start-finish line, it's still Bowman, but Ginningsman making progress down low. He is there. The 8 gives him the spot. Going to try and cut back underneath coming out of turn 1. Not able to do it. As he tucks back in behind. And a little bit of contact behind them. Evan Longacre, Zach York making contact, but Longacre up into 4th. York back to 5th. Roger Gregory in 6th. Chris James 7th. Grayson Sullivan struggling a little bit now. Back to 9th position. Not sure what we missed, but he is just at the latter half of the top 10 there as he gets passed by Josh Mayo on the outside. Not sure what's going on with that number 19. We just talked to him and said he had a good race car here, maybe a little bit tight with the cloud cover coming out, but looks like he takes that position back away from Mayo up into 8th once again. And we are closing in on 5 to go. Right now we're at 7 to go, just a couple more until that 5 to go marker. And right now it's the Roush Mustangs out in front. Ginningsman going to try and take over that top position. He is closing in on his teammate. Tater Bowman dropping back from those top 2. Here comes Ginningsman to the outside, trying to make a move. The 35 goes around. That's Cody Jordan. We just heard about him in the chat, and he goes around, slams the inside wall, and brings out one more caution. The 35, the victim here. See what happens. It looks like it was coming out of turn number 2. The 35 of Jordan with the 66 on his back bumper. Both of those Supras, 35. Back end just stepped out in front of the 39. 35 slams the inside wall, bouncing back up into the racing groove. And that is going to end his night. And that TRD Supra, such a good looking race car, but it's just about half a race car now, so. But it is a good looking half race car, so he's got that to be proud of, and he's still on the lead lap. The engine has not blown yet, so he might be able to gain a few positions if he just runs it out here, as it's going to start to get crazy, I think, in these final laps, and we're probably going to get a green-white checkered based on the remaining laps. And it looks like the 60 of Aaron Tyner making his way down the front straightaway. I'm not sure what happened to him, if he had a penalty or something, or maybe spun, but he is quite a ways back in 22nd. And yes, sir, TJ Spinout. Looks like a modified division for some of these race cars out there. And some of them going to need some new paint work. Nice segue to Shorba's iRacing Paints. You can head over to Facebook and check out Shorba's iRacing Paints. Jacob creates some awesome paint schemes for a lot of the drivers in this league, so that's why so many of these race cars are such great looking cars. We just put the link there in the chat, so head on over. If you want your own beautiful race scheme for an affordable price, head over to Shorba's iRacing Paints. Also want to introduce you to the iRacing Fantasy National Series merch. We've got t-shirts and hats over at vspeedsim.com/shop. So if you want to support the league here as well as support VSpeed, you can head over there. A portion of each sale contributes to the league, so it continues to fund the iRacing community, which is awesome. Also helps fund us here at the broadcasting channel. So first 25 to use code FANTASY5 will save $5 on their purchase, and that can be used on any purchase in the store above $10. So head on over to vspeedsim.com/shop and check out some of the awesome merchandise over there. One more sponsor we want to give a shout out to tonight, Renegade Coffee Bar. It's an awesome pre-workout replacement bar made from fair trade Colombian beans. It's got 150 milligrams of caffeine as well as 1,500 milligrams of beta-alanine, and definitely packs a punch to help you get through your workouts or just give you energy to start your day. Delicious little bars, way better than those pre-workout powders, and you can head over and check those out at renegadecoffeebar.com. And back to our pace laps here. Jake Queen out in front, leading the way. It's 5 to go right now. We may not get a green-white checkered if they get going here in the next couple laps, but let's see if we can talk to somebody else out here. I'm going to talk to the number 60 of Aaron Tyner, another Roush machine. He's now inside the top 10, so let's see if we can get him up here in the booth. Aaron Tyner, this is Adam in the VSpeed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Aaron, your teammates up there have been stealing the show here tonight, but it looks like you started to make your way up there to try and join them. How's the number 60 race car out there tonight? You got a copy there, Aaron? Looks like we may have lost the number 60 radio communication, so we'll put him back down with his teammates. But he has started to make his way forward, so we'll see what he can do here in these closing laps. I'm going to pull up his teammate, though, Chad Ginnigsman. Let's find him on the racetrack. Ginnigsman actually outside the top 10 now, so not sure what's going on right there, but let's see if we can get a word in with him. Chad Ginnigsman, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Adam.
Well, Chad, you kind of played second fiddle to your teammate up there at the front, but it looks like you've got good speed in that race car, but now you've lost a bit of track position, so what's it going to take to get it back here in these closing laps?
Yeah, I think I was a little bit faster than him throughout that run. I kind of played it easy, making sure we could have a big lead before we battled it out, but figuring a 2-lap restart wouldn't have enough time to wind it up to get around him, so I guess gonna probably need to get 4 or 5 on this initial restart and then have 1 lap to probably work around the last 3 and get back up.
And you must have come down pit road just a moment ago, it's looking like. Yep. So you think the fresh tires will help here, even though they've only got a handful on those race cars in front of you?
Yeah, I think they'll help. They'll probably give me a couple positions in turn 1 and 2. I know old tires you really slide up in 1 and 2, but with their tires cooling down, we'll see.
Well, that is good to know. Hopefully you can make your way back up there and at least give Jay a run for his money here in these closing laps. But before we let you go, one final question. What is your favorite rapid-fire pizza topping?
I don't really have a favorite topping, but if I get a pizza, you should do pepperoni, black olives, and mushrooms. Pretty plain.
Well, that's actually more of a unique choice there than many of the other drivers. So credit for that. So good luck here in the closing laps, and hopefully we can talk to you when it's all over.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Adam.
That was the number 16, Chad Ginnigsman, who has run second most of this race, now finds himself outside the top 10 in the closing laps. We'll see what he can do here to reel in the leader, Jake Queen, who is just absolutely dominated tonight. But Tater Bowman in second place, really possibly the only car up here on equal tires that has any shot at that Roush Racing Mustang. And we will see what happens here in these closing laps. Going to be a shootout for sure. And I'm sorry I didn't see the message there. KSI Rageaholic, we will talk to him maybe if we get one more caution. I'm not exactly sure. But green flag back out. Bowman, not a great restart. That's going to allow his teammate Chris James with all that damage to get back up inside the top 2 now. Chris James down on the inside, going to try and pull that pass off. Let's keep an eye on some of these drivers behind. And you see the 16 of Ginnigsman down low, a little bit of contact in front of him. They're stacking up. He is blocked in. He's going to have to try and navigate his way through. He's still in 11th position. Trying to make that pass. It looks like he's actually losing a bit of ground here on the back straightaway. Evan Longacre, a huge run, and we're coming to the white flag this next time by if they can keep it green here. And they're stacking up 60. Almost going around there. That's Aaron Tyner struggling here in 3 and 4, but Jay Queen coming to the start-finish line. He's going to try and take that 1 to go as everybody's still straight. Green flag still out. That's going to give us the white flag. And we're going to end this thing under green. No green-white checkers, and Tater Bowman within striking distance, 0.3 of a second. Can he close the gap? No one's been able to touch that 6 car, but he is not too far back. Really a good run there in turn 2, but the 6 a better run. That's going to lead them down the back straightaway. Now 0.4 of the gap. The 6 continues to pull away. The 8 trying to stay in his draft. Zach York on fresher tires right behind him, and he's trying to take over that 2nd spot if he can. York right on the back bumper, going to try and make the move here in the final corner. Dives it down. Bowman trying to close the door. Side by side across the track, and it looks like Jay Queen going to take the victory here tonight. Dominating performance. He's going to win tonight's race, but who's second? It's going to be Zach York and then Tater Bowman to round this one out. Chris James coming home 4th. Chad Ginnigsman finishes in 5th, so maybe not the finish he was looking for. A little bit of damage on that race car from coming up through the field, but way to salvage a top 5 from that driver. Jay Queen, though, incredible run by this Roush Mustang, the Impact Mustang, and he takes the victory here tonight. So congratulations to Jay Queen and we will be right back with our driver interviews after a quick commercial break. And we are back. Going to be pulling up our winner here, Jay Queen, dominating victory. And let me see if I can find him here in that number 6 machine. Jay Queen, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you.
Well, Jay, you ran an incredible race out there, leading 46 laps, incredibly dominating here tonight. You came in inside the top 10, all but locked into the playoffs here. How much of a confidence booster is it to take the victory here at Indianapolis?
Well, this is my home track. It's like one of my favorite ones. I've always done well here. It's a good confidence booster going into the playoffs. So guaranteed in the playoffs now with a win.
Yes, sir. Guaranteed for sure. And you came in with a few playoff points, but that's definitely going to help your seeding as soon as you get into the playoffs. And your teammates out there, Chad Ginningsman and Aaron Tyner, also getting solid finishes. But how worried were you that Ginningsman was going to be able to get to your back bumper at some point in this race?
Well, we were teammates, so we were kind of working together for the first half. He helped me with setup, Commodore helped me with the stuff, so we were kind of working together there at the beginning. I kind of felt I was a little bit faster on exit through the turns than he was, so he stayed there with me. We just took off on the rest of the field.
Yeah, you guys definitely had the fastest cars out there, and really I think the only challenger would have been Tater Bowman, but just didn't have the speed there in the closing laps. But you put on a dominating performance, and really, what did it take here to just have the grip for those runs? Did you guys find something in the setup, or were you trying different lines, or what was working for you out there?
I stuck with my line. I knew my let off points, and I've always been good at long run speed and not so much the sprint. But once I found the perfect line and my perfect let off points, it was just the tires seemed to just stick the whole time.
Yeah, and consistency is definitely key here at Indianapolis with the precision entries and exits of these corners. And obviously you mastered that here, leading 46 out of the 50 laps that were run. So congratulations once again on the victory. Huge momentum going forward for you here as we closed in on the playoffs. And anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Absolutely. My shout out to my team, Ross Fenway, Commodore Garage for help with the setup, Impact Networking, Rapid Fire Pizza, Shorba's iRacing Paint, Alpha Ornamentals, and Jacob, of course, for putting on this wonderful league.
Well, awesome there, Jay. Incredible run once again. You should be very happy with this performance. You dominated, and go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Thank you. That was Jay Queen coming home in second. We'll see if we can pull up Zach York, who finished in second here. Let's see if I can find him down there in the Evernham Motorsports room. Zach York, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, Zach, you're able to close out a really solid finish here, and we talked with your teammate just a little bit earlier, Grayson Sullivan, and he said you two had good race cars underneath you, and obviously that was the case. Did you think you'd be able to get to Jay in those closing laps?
Yeah, I took it a little easy going to turn 1 out on that restart. If I just kept the throttle down, I would have probably gotten filmed by the front stretch on the last lap. The number 91 Craftsman Camaro was really fast. Slowly adjusted it throughout the day and just got it to where I liked it. Just strategy kind of worked out for us. From Grayson going from 14th to 7th on that last restart, and me going from 9th to 2nd really worked out. Thankfully to the slow cars in front of me on that restart. But yeah, everything seemed to work out.
Yeah, you ran up inside the top 5 pretty much the whole race, and you were in position to, capitalize in case anything happened up front. But earning a lot of stage points here tonight, and I'm not sure exactly if you are in the points here. I don't see you in the top 17. So, are you competing full time in this series, or is this just part time for you right now?
I am. I kind of just missed the week, and I missed the first 2 weeks because my team wasn't in the league. But yeah, I am competing full time. I will be here next week.
Awesome.
For racing, yeah.
Yeah, good to hear. We expect to, see you up towards the front once again after tonight's performance. It was a good run for you, very consistently inside that top 5. And anyways, what was really the key to, maintaining that track position here tonight? Was it the turn entries, or were you struggling with any point on the track, or was it hard to make passes anywhere?
It was mainly pit road. I felt like I was best going through pit road when the cautions came out, gaining the track positions, because every single pit stop I gained 2 or 3 positions, just keeping it smooth through the pits. And thanks to my crew, I guess. My crew really got the tires on and off real quick. The car was really fast though, but definitely not the fastest car out there. Top 5 car for sure, but not where it could contend for the lead.
Yeah, you almost had a shot at it there, and the strategy almost worked out for you. So definitely a lot to be proud of here. Very solid run. And, before we let you go celebrate this second place run, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My teammate, first of all, and all my friends, family watching right now. Some people have been really trying to root for me to get a win here. So hopefully I get one soon for them. Thank the stream. Thank you, Adam, for hosting, for doing this. It's really an honor to be on VSPEED. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. We really appreciate that. And once again, congratulations on a great run. And you obviously, showed that you got potential out there, and win is probably coming soon. So we look forward to seeing you close to the front next week.
See you later.
All right. That was second place finisher Zach York. Evernham Motorsports, third place Tater Bowman. Let's see if we can get him up here in the booth in that number 8 machine.
David Wright come home.
Tater Bowman, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, Mr. Bowman, you were kind of all over the place here tonight, and all throughout the field, and you worked your way back up inside the top 5, and even had a shot at a win here in the closing laps. But obviously, good speed under that race car. And what was the key to getting back up to the front here tonight?
I think the key was just kind of be patient there, working my way back through. I knew I had the speed. And I didn't know Jay was the point man all night. So long run, I think I could have got him, but we never really got a long run. So I opted to lead a lap, which put me behind there. Get those bonus points, vice the stage points that came after. So, but all in all, a really, really solid night, really good run.
Yeah, and your teammate ended up finishing right behind you there in 4th, and looked like Carl Dodson as well as Jonathan Hernandez, your other teammates, had some issues here with getting caught up in things, but it looked like the whole Junior Motorsports crew had pretty good race cars under him here tonight.
Yeah, we spent some time prepping. We kind of come up with a base, and then we kind of forego our separate ways there, and kind of develop from there. And because Carl's style is a little bit different than Chris and myself, so we kind of branch out and do our own thing. I want to give a big hat tip tonight to Mr. Daniel Hallis, who spotted for me and crew chief for me. He really adjusted the car to the track conditions really well. So big shout out to him.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of cloud cover out there, so that obviously would have changed the handling in the race car. But did you find that helped you in any way, or what kind of adjustments you really had to make, as the conditions changed?
Yeah, the the track did seem to tighten up over the course of the night, and we were pretty good about staying ahead of it, seeing it with all the testing we had done, kind of knowing as a track representative, a certain way we need to go with the adjustments and everything. I came in with kind of a loose starting car, and then ended up with a very neutral car that had a lot of speed. So again, without my crew chief, that would have never happened.
Yeah, it definitely takes a crew to do well in these races here with the open setups. So obviously you got one good one behind you, and the car was fast. We saw you charge all the way through the field, and the car, I think you might have one of the few completely clean cars left out there. So obviously you were able to get by without forcing your way through. So that goes to show just how good of a handling race car you had. And you come in, I think, third seeded in the playoffs. You're not up there with those top two for regular season points, but obviously had a good season so far. So how much momentum does this top three give you moving forward as we get closer to the playoffs?
Really, well, if anything, it helps a little bit of self-confidence stuff going in. I've had a couple bad weeks, and being able to rally behind a track I'm fairly decent at really will help us with momentum moving forward. Just gives me a little bit more fire in the belly to go and make sure we're even better for next week.
Well, that's good to hear. We look forward to seeing you run well. You've had a couple great runs on the broadcasts here, so far this year. So, you've been putting on shows and not disappointing for sure. So, anybody you want to give a shout out to celebrate this third place finish here tonight?
Yeah, real quick, Rapid Fire Pizza, obviously our title sponsor. Would also like to shout out Gen X and all the guys over there. Really good group of guys, just a really good group of friends. Again, my crew chief, congrats to Jay and Zach for a whale of a run there toward the end. And the admins and you guys for putting on this show. Thanks.
Well, thank you so much, Tater. And congratulations once again on the top three run. We look forward to catching up with you here soon.
All right, sir. We'll see you around.
Thank you. All right, that was third place finisher Tater Bowman. Thank you so much for that follow. Duval757, thank you. And to all those who followed here tonight, we thank you so much for tuning in here on VSPEED. And tonight's race was the iRacing Fantasy National Series live on Twitch. You can also find us over on YouTube, where we upload our race replays a couple days after they're live here, if you want to follow along with the series, but maybe not able to catch up with the live broadcast. So you can check them out over there a couple days after they're live. Also, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/vspeedsim, where we announce each and every race that we are broadcasting. So head on over there, give us a follow, give us a like. If you like tonight's broadcast, consider following or subscribing here on Twitch. It really helps us bring you more and more great racing content, and this month's subscriptions are half price, so only $2.50 for a subscription here on VSPEED, where you can see so much more iRacing Fantasy Series action. And tonight's race was Indianapolis 125, brought to you by Rapid Fired Pizza. So big shout out to all the sponsors here in this series: Rapid Fired Pizza, Alpha Ornamental Metals, Shorbus iRacing Paints, and Renegade Coffee Bar. If you enjoyed the broadcast and want to get some iRacing Fantasy National Series merch, you can head over to vspeedsim.com/shop, and the first 25 to use code FANTASY5 save $5 on your purchase. and a portion of each sale contributes to the iRacing Fantasy National Series League. So you can support the iRacing community and support iRacing broadcasting. Head on over there and check out what you can get at vspeedsim.com. And thank you so much for tuning in once again. We will be back tomorrow night with the iRacing Fantasy Cup Series right here live on VSPEED at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And we've got some exciting action coming up here in a couple weeks from another league. It's going to be the Norse Force Racing League. You can see their information down in the blocks below the video here on the stream schedule. We're going to be hosting the Norse Force Valhalla Cup Series on Wednesday nights coming up in a couple weeks, and Thursday nights we're going to be hosting their SK Modified Series here. Some of the best racers in sim racing are going to be here in that SK Modified Series, and definitely some of the top drivers across iRacing in the Cup Series as well. And some of your favorite streamers, including Justin Botello and Derek Justice, going to be part of that action. So going to be a lot of fun bringing you all of that, and a lot of fun here tonight. And we want to thank the iRacing Fantasy National Series for allowing us to bring this to you. And if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, once again, consider following and subscribing. Thank you so much to everyone who is supporting us right now. It means a whole lot to us and helps us bring you more great racing action. So thanks again. Everyone have a good night.